Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently in a slightly dire position here, but I do want to say I am planning for this series to be the series that makes way for Victoria 3, just because of the release time of the game. That will give me enough time to make sure that I have day one coverage of it, and that'll be, I think, ideal. So this time slot will be moving over, which means that there will only be about 4 more episodes of this series, but we'll continue pushing in. I don't expect it will defeat the German Empire, but I mean, this has gone on for a very long time, so I think that's reasonably okay. So we're going to proceed here, and I do want to immediately tell these guys I don't think we need them on this front as badly as I think we need them on this front. So we're going to bring them over here instead. And that'll be fine for the moment. Now, we need to deal with this incursion. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to head on in here. I want to get all of our tank units up over here, including you. Get on up over here. Cool. I also want to... I added a few extra regiments here so that we can get some of these canceled and get some manpower back. Actually, I'm just going to do that for all of these. There we go. 100,000 manpower. Cool. Plus or minus a little bit. Yeah, I think that's completely okay. So we are definitely going to utilize a lot of that manpower. And we're currently attacking out over here. That was without orders, I believe. And I'm reasonably okay with that as long as we're actually going to succeed this. We could have these guys attempt to assist. And then once our tanks arrive, I would definitely like to come on in here. But we definitely needed that manpower, particularly out on this front. That's very clear. We'll see if we make any gains out here, but I really do think... Oh, these numbers are actually a little lower now. Nice. I really do think that we need to get more troops out, which is why we have all of these divisions in recruitment. Now, they were already fully man-powered, so that's no real issue there in terms of the issue we've been having, but that's fine. Honestly, we wouldn't have gotten this far without it. That manpower is... very important, shall we say. So, let's see here. I want to make sure that these guys are all, basically all in here. I want to push them out because we really need to get this. If we can get that, that's huge. A breakthrough here would be monumentally important. And we got it. We're going to immediately head up over here. They're retreating this direction. Unfortunately, they do have another unit here. That made me a little sad. But we should be able to push through there as well. Ooh, they just brought in a fresh batch. Yikes. Okay. Now we could try to blockade this. There's 6 friendly ships and 0 enemy ships? Surely that's inaccurate. There must be enemy ships here. Like, there absolutely has to be. 6 divisions assigned here. What 6? Oh, okay. I see what's going on there. We need to delete this order. And have all of these units then assigned over here. Cool. And of course, we need to continue to push in here if we can. Our infantry should definitely come along out over here. We're a bit low on tanks, but you can see our manpower has already almost been spent. That said, we are still attacking over here, albeit cautiously. And we do have some unassigned divisions here. Just the one unassigned division. So I guess that goes into this army here. And off he goes. I'm surprised that we only had 1 pop out there. Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of tanks soon, but we don't quite have them right now. Okay. Good to know. Okay, we're going to back off on this attack for the moment. I'm thinking about logistics here right now. Actually, I'm thinking about Air Force here right now. They don't have a lot. we could seek to surprise them. Where are our planes at? Here they are. Now, they have a lot in Asia Minor right now, and I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. We're going to head down to Algiers. If I can select them. There we go. So we're going to head down over here. And we're going to look to establish some air power in this region. Cool. So the question is, how many are they going to bump over here, and how quickly can they get there? Let's go ahead and air superiority right now out over here. I'm not too concerned about this area in Eastern Maghreb for right now. Can we get our air superiority up in time? We're working on it. Ooh, okay, nope. They pulled their planes in. We didn't hit 75% there. We're going to immediately pull back. And see what they do. They're 1,500. I was hoping that we'd hit enough there. Sadly, we did not. I think we could think about pushing in here with our tanks at this juncture. And we'll assist with this infantry. Checking down over here, this looks reasonable. Ooh, they're getting pushed over here. Okay. They still have all their planes here. Noted. Checking in over this way, things look quasi-okay. Where are these troops at? They are beginning to arrive, or rather, they're beginning to disembark here. Okay. What we really need here is to bait them into not being here. They've landed a lot of forces here. There's no doubt about that in Marrakech. So the question is, how can we bait them here? This is what we want, is them to switch over like this. They left their 200 fighters. Sadly. Now, one thing we could do is bump this number up. Well, we can't right now. But they left their 200 fighters here. I'm just thinking, can we do this? 60%. And then they bring in their support planes. Those are just support planes. They're piling in the support planes for sure, but those are just support planes. That's very interesting. How long until our reinforcements arrive here? They're still a ways away, is the answer. And how are things looking up on this front? It's looking okay, I think. I think we got pushed back a little bit here. I think so. This front is looking reasonably stable for now. And that should be the case, because we are just pouring the resources into fortifying this front at this moment. Now, we do have an additional 6 unassigned divisions, and those are going to be assigned directly into Army 3, and we should definitely have, like, Horace Robertson in charge of this. There we go. Now the question is, we're seeing some logistics issues out over here. Ooh, they've really pushed up over here. We don't want them to have access to this naval base. This Bay of Bengal fleet. What if that was up here instead? I feel like it's a pretty weak fleet, but we can see. We want to remove the Bay of Bengal. Thank you very much. No accessible regions. We can't work out of, like, these naval bases? Or we can't make it through the Strait of Gibraltar. Because it's contested. I see. So their fleet is pinned in the Mediterranean here, the fleet that exists. They're going to take Ceuta very soon. That's for sure. I want to try this attack again, but I don't expect that to really work. We need our reinforcements up here. Unfortunately, it takes a very long time. Like, a very, very long time. We're still waiting on some of these reinforcements, although some have arrived. That's good. And there are American troops heading in over here, too. Ceuta has fallen, though. They have a lot of forces over on this side, and not as much facing us here. Unfortunately, our forces are just so far away. We need this tank back over here. That's all there is to it. Okay, let's see. How long until these 9 divisions get finished up? That's going to be a while yet. Sure. We could stop this attack and dig in here. That said, we're still digging in on this side. And I think that's okay. What we really need to do is push up to here. But now that Ceuta has fallen, they now have 2 level 3 naval bases. Oh, they also took Casablanca. This is just collapsing over here. That does mean this front is getting further away and harder for them to reinforce. So there is that. I'd like to move in here. Something like this. We can definitely push them out of this region. And now I'd like to attack this single Alpine unit here. Cool. And we'll just try to push up here. An ace pilot is promoted. They just nuked this naval base. That's interesting. I don't think our supplies are really flowing from there. So that seems okay. We will get repairs done eventually. But supplies should be good out here. So we're going to push in over this way. Cool. Now, I want this tank to come down here and help out. Get down here, buddy. We need to be threatening their naval bases. How are things looking in the air? Not great. We need to back off here. Cool. Now there's a nuke in Iran. Are they going to do multiple nukes here? No. Oh, there's another one up over here. They're nuking all of our naval bases / hubs up over here. Interesting. So we're no longer able to push in here for the moment. They're definitely trying to hurt our supply lines over on this side. Checking in on our fronts over here, it looks to be reasonably stable. These guys are arriving up here, and things are getting somewhat better. So that's good. And we're continuing to work on these land forts here. We'll just go ahead and rearrange these a little bit, like so. And we'll put this up here. Cool. That'll do for the time being. And then as far as this goes, we have to wait for reinforcements here, but we're going to need to definitely do some repairs out over here. They just nuked here as well. So it's just like going down the line here. In Eastern Maghreb. They shouldn't be able to push too much further than that. Also a nuke in Lisbon. That's very interesting. Okay. Well, for the moment, we're going to reinforce here and bring additional forces in, which they have arrived now. I'm going to move all of our tanks here. I feel like we're missing a tank. Oh, we only have 7 tanks here. I made a mistake. Okay. I guess we'll move an infantry unit over to here. And then one of these tanks, I think, should move into here. Yeah, we have 6 tanks here. I'm actually going to move this tank immediately. Okay. There we go. So we're going to get those moved around. And they'll arrive here soon enough, in theory. Come on, tanks. You can do it. That guy's the one that's leaving. Okay, so we're going to have 7 tanks here. Eventually. You're not moving. Get in here. All of our tanks move over. So these guys will arrive shortly. Where are you going? Get back here. I told you to get in here. Stop it. Stop moving my tanks. I want all of my tanks here. Stop it. Okay, the game really doesn't want our tanks here. All of the tanks come here, and then come here. That is the goal here. I want to concentrate our tank forces. Our leader really doesn't want all of the tanks concentrated, but I want to concentrate them. And the reason for that is because we can use them to push in here. Okay, we got some manpower from the month tick. And they have 0 fighters here. We should instantly get 100% air superiority. My question is, are we in range? Yes, we are. Okay. And their fighters popped in on the same day ours did. That's unlucky. Very unlucky there. Sad. At any rate, we're going to continue to push in here. And all of our tanks are coming in. We're trying to just push up the coast for the moment. But we can see that the Germans have taken this entire area now. The Allied defense down here completely collapsed. So that's fine for the moment. We're just going to weather this attack. And then I'm going to attack here, but I'm going to use this tank to just stay and defend. Okay. So we're going to push our way up with the rest of our tanks. And that should be reasonably fine. Let's check in on Turkey. These lines appear to be static, and that's exactly what we want. Cool. So in we go. And in theory, we should be able to push them out of here. And that will reduce their supply flow somewhat. Unfortunately, they have multiple other bases at this point. And they're just really pushing into the French Commune. So we need our allies to actually do something about that. But they don't appear to be so inclined. For the moment, anyway. Okay, we'll have these guys assist the attack, but I don't expect too much out of them, considering their manpower. Okay, so we're just pushing in there. We can actually, looking at this, these guys can just walk in here. We can attack here, and we can just walk in here with these guys walking up, and shorten our lines dramatically. This is just free. So that sounds good to me. We'll move on in there. And they're just yielding this. The German Empire has decrypted our cipher. Now, we've decrypted their cipher, haven't we? No, we haven't. Let's go ahead and do so. And I do want to assist this attack here. And I want these guys to launch an attack here, actually, with these guys assisting this attack. Cool. Their numbers here are pretty thin, so we should be able to continue to move up there. I'm a little concerned about them launching broad attacks over here with their decryption. We are dug in over here now. We have some entrenchment. So that should be reasonably good. And I think that we can collapse this front. Cool. So we take that. I'm going to immediately take some of these tanks and try to drive to Suda. Or at least one unit of tank here. And we'll take a second unit to here, just to be a little bit safer. Okay, I'd like to push them out of this region, but for the moment, I think this is okay. So we do take this location, and we'll take a couple units of tank up over here, just to try to hold this against their motorized infantry. Looks good. And we are pressing in over on this side. Excellent. And then if we look at this, we can see that we have all of these guys, all of these bases here, somewhat defended, right? So they're going to have a harder time getting supplies through there. Going to take one of these tanks up over here. And we need to rearrange our forces here for sure. These guys are all moving up. And in fact, can we not move here? We should be able to. Excellent. Continue driving to Suda. We'll push in the rest of this shortly. In fact, we can do that right now by coming in here, and then these two can assist that attack, like so, while these guys attack here to hold these off. Their front is pretty collapsed here, to be honest. So we're heading in here, and taking Suda will be a big blow to them. A big, big blow. Excellent. So at this point, we pretty much want to just take these guys and have them set up a front line, like down... Apparently, oh yeah, not a front line, an offensive line, like down here. And I'm going to tell them to execute that aggressively. We're going to push in hard here. And that should be good. Until such a time as they can deal with this, this is what we want to do. Because the further down this way we go, the shorter the front gets. And that will be ideal. So we're going to push in there, checking on this situation. We are losing up here. I want to see... This guy is always wounded, it feels like. I'm going to put Ivan McKay in here instead. And then we're just going to last stand. I want to hold here. And we do have some unassigned divisions. These will, of course, move in here. We have some unassigned military factories, too. I don't know how much these actually matter, but we can just assign these something like that. Sure. We see that the Germans have struck back over here a little bit. And they're continuing to press in over here, but this is largely stalled, it looks like. This is largely stalled as well. My question is, are they responding to us? Because we're pressing in hard here. And this should be reasonably fine. I want these guys assisting here. Because I want to push this back. Excellent. So we were pushed out here. Don't bother attacking it. No, seriously, don't bother attacking. For the time being, just defend. Make them pay very heavily for every province that they want to take here. I do also want to queue up some land forts over here eventually, but for the moment, I think this is reasonably fine. We're primarily focused on this, and once we get that done, we can get some reinforcements up. We do we need another tank unit? What are we lacking? An infantry unit is what we're actually lacking here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and queue up a bunch of these. So I'm going to queue up like 10 infantry units. Not necessarily going to let all of them finish, but there we go. That'll do. Oh, we lost a bunch of units here, actually. We need to queue up like 15. Yikes. And that's because we were last standed. That makes sense. We still lost with the last stand, which is unfortunate. Yeah, we just lost 3 more. We're not allowed to retreat under last stand. Yeah, this front is crumbling. Okay. We'll queue up like 24. I have no idea how the bug will handle that, but we'll see. So, as far as this front goes, we're continuing to press in very aggressively, and it appears to be going well. This front is not going well. But it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode, we'll see how we can go ahead and handle this. That's going to be very interesting. We have additional forces arriving at this front. They'll get there eventually, but you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, JJ Gamer, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, Atala, Jens Graham, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.